Hey everyone, Technomentary with the video for you guys. In today's video, I'm going to review the iPhone 6s going into 2025. If you currently are using it, thinking about buying it, upgrading to it, upgrading from it, everything you need to know, even in comparison to a newer iPhone, we're going to talk about it in this video so you can know everything about this phone. So let's get started. So the iPhone 6s was released back in 2015. Yes, that's right, 2015, which means this phone is going to be a decade old phone. For a device like a phone, that's pretty old in my sense. But if you take a look at this phone now, let's just take a look at the design here for it. It's an aluminum body design with the 4.7-inch display. Feels a little outdated with the chunk of the design here, but again, this is a classic design that was sort of the popular design back in 2015. You have the touch button here going for it. Now if we take a look at it, it has lightning charging, which now the newer iPhones have is the USB-C, and then it has a headphone jack, which most people still prefer this over the Thunder lightning headphone jack that you use. And then if you take a look at it here, the ringer switch on here, that's available on the newer phone. That's the action button. And then here is the SIM card tray that it has a physical SIM card, but it does not have the 5G MMM wave, so there's no 5G on this phone. And you got a single camera on the back here again, classic gray design. This also comes in gold as well. Now, other things to note about this phone, it's going to be is the hardware in it. So underneath it is powered by the A9 chip with 2 gigs of RAM, which struggles with demanding app and multitasking. However, for the daily tasks from like calling and texting, it seems to handle that normally pretty well. Even when it comes to the browsing, you can do light browsing. Again, it is a little bit slower, so it does take a time to really kick off whenever you launch something. Same with the apps as well. Once you get it running, it starts to work. But when it comes to games that are heavy on graphic, don't expect it to work. Now 2D games are great on this device, still it works, but again, heavy graphic games that are meant to be played on the console are kind of tough to play. Even when it comes to streaming, it works in terms of watching videos, even music. You can have this as an MP3 player if you like, again, because it's just a compact device. Now the next thing we probably want to talk about is going to be the camera on this device here. So it comes with a 12 megapixel rear camera and 5 megapixel front camera. So you have front and back, which is decent in good light, but when it comes to low light or night mode, it lacks those modern features that you get on a newer iPhone, which has a 48 megapixel camera, 3 of them on the Pro models, 2 of them on the regular model, which this does not obviously compare at all. But again, if you're taking normal photos, it's fine. You have things like square mode, pano available here. You can also do video recording here in HD, slow motion, and time lapse. What featured missing are cinematic mode, the portrait mode, and also the spatial video mode, which is available on the newer device. So again, those functionalities just happens to be a newer features on the upgraded camera that you have. Now, another aspect we're probably going to talk about, it's going to be the battery life on this phone. So the phone comes with a 1715 mAh battery. Now, if you look at the battery health, if you used it for a couple of years, or after 10 years of usage, you're probably not going to get much out of it. You're looking at 8 to 10 hours of battery life on a light user. So if you're a light user, you're going to be looking at that. Now if you compare that to a newer device like the iPhone 16 base model, which comes with 22 hours of video playback, this does not seem like you're getting much battery of it compared to a newer device with a bigger battery, better support for it as well. Now the other thing you probably want to talk about this iPhone is going to be the price point. So Apple, of course, doesn't make it anymore, the new, so you can't get it brand new anymore. If you're looking for it, most likely on Amazon, which I'll leave a link for phones that you can get on Amazon for really cheap deal. This one, for example, you can probably get it under $50 or so. So when it comes to kind of is the iPhone 6s worth it going into 2025, well, it comes down to a couple of things. If you're looking for something that's simply the basic backup phone or device that you just are looking to use it for calling and texting and then light usage of some apps, it's a good device for you. But keep in mind, the iPhone 6s originally released on iOS 9. The highest it goes is to iOS 15, and we're on iOS 18 now, so 3 generations behind on major updates in terms of software. You occasionally get those security updates, but what happens with the older iOS is some newer apps like ChatGPT and some of the newer apps that were developed are not supported. Even support for some of the older apps start to drop, Here, luckily, some of the more popular ones are still supported, like YouTube, some of your more social media app, even WhatsApp is supported. Now, when it comes to newer software, it's not going to be supported, which you might find that it's just not compatible, which will probably deter you to upgrading to a newer phone. And kind of the last thing to mention is, do we recommend this phone? If you're solely looking to buy iPhone 6s, I highly don't recommend it. I would suggest that you get something a little bit more, like if you're looking for the touch button, maybe iPhone SE second generation, which is around pre-owned around $100 or so, or even if you can get third generation. And if you're looking for a newer device, probably the iPhone 13 and above that still has a physical SIM card, has 5G, and all of the features with iOS 18 available on it. That's why I want to hear from you guys. What's your thought on the iPhone 6s going into 2025? If you currently use it, have used it, upgraded to it, upgraded from it, do share your comment in the comment section. And if you like this kind of review videos and for more tips and tricks for your iPhone, make sure to like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.